water, earth, fire, air. My grandmother used to tell me stories about the old days, a time of peace when the Avatar kept balance between the water tribes, Earth Kingdom, Fire Nation, and air nomads. But that all changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Only the Avatar mastered all 4 elements. Only he could stop the ruthless firebenders, but when the world needed him most, he vanished. 100 years passed, and the Fire Nation is nearing victory in the war. 2 years ago, my father and the men of my tribe journeyed to the Earth Kingdom to help fight against the Fire Nation, leaving me and my brother to look after our tribe. Some people believe that the Avatar was never reborn into the air nomads and that the cycle is broken, but I haven't lost hope. I still believe that somehow the Avatar will return to save the world.
What was that? Why did you do that? Why did you just say that?
Welcome to the first episode of My Podcabbages, where we talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender award-winning American animated series from Nickelodeon. No relation to the 2009 James Cameron film, no relation to the 2010 M. Night Shyamalan film. Are we cussing on this podcast?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, well,
you started.
Welcome to our explicit podcast about Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Our explicit podcast about a kids show.
It's going to be really explicit. We're going to get really into it. My name is Summer, and my co-host is...
Noah.
That's him. We're here. We didn't actually come up with an intro before we started this. We just started. Maybe that was a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. Okay, so we're starting with the first episode, and we're going to be going through episode by episode, and we're just going to talk about the show. Both of us, I mean, maybe I'm speaking for the two of us preemptively, but personally, I have a really bad memory, and watching this show and being able to do sort of an analysis kind of good thinking podcast about it will give me the opportunity to actually appreciate what I have tattooed onto my body.
What do you have tattooed onto your body, Summer?
I have a little airbender arrow. It's not important, but I do have an Avatar tattoo. Let's start with some just quick facts about the show. It was nominated for and won Annie Awards, Genesis Awards, a Primetime... Oh, it did win a Primetime Emmy as well as a Peabody Award. It won a total of 12 awards. In some regions, it was called Avatar: The Legend of Aang, which I feel uncomfortable about. Wait, going back, I wanted to mention, I looked this up. So it was actually nominated for 2 Emmys. It only won 1, and the second one that it... the second one that it was nominated for that it didn't win was for Outstanding Animated Program. It lost Outstanding Animated Program to South Park. I'm really sorry to bring this news to you, to your ears.
What year was this?
Wait, I think it was like 2008 or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Someone, Wade, you on that? Cool. Wade's on it. Let's see. I don't need to be the one to... Look, Wade, you already know this, but it was a very popular show. At its peak, it actually had 6 million viewers, which is just wild. 6 million viewers. Ooh.
An airplane.
The show was created by Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko.
Did you look up those pronunciations?
I had to look up Konietzko. As you know, we're the only Avatar: The Last Airbender podcast on the internet. The only one.
Yeah, I don't think there's any
No, there's none.
No. Yeah.
We're the first and only.
I haven't really seen any other.
No, we're the only one.
We're the only
Definitive.
one.
Like don't look it up.
And we'll be the last one.
We'll be
Avatar the last podcast.
Ooh, that would have been a better podcast name, huh? Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're just going to go through the episode a little bit, do a little summary for you. Sokka and Katara are out on the lake, river, the Antarctic Ocean, where the fuck they are, fishing. They're fishing, and Sokka starts telling her that he's going to be the one to catch the fish because he's a dude, and he's a piece of shit. Katara says, hey, she literally calls him sexist, which I just love. This show, by the way, debuted in 2005. 2005.
February, early 2005.
Whoa, where did you get that information?
I just knew it.
Okay.
I just remembered reading it.
Noah, I just
What?
told these people that we have bad memories. Please.
You have a bad memory.
You're making me sound incredible. Ooh, thanks for making me sound incredible.
Yeah.
How old were you in 2005?
I was 5. No, I was 10, 5th grade, I think.
10.
No, I was in. I was finishing up 4th grade.
This was 13 years ago.
I was finishing up 4th grade. I was in the second half of 4th grade.
You're in 4th grade.
In early 2005.
Oh, boy. 4th grade. Oof. 4th grade. What a good year. Fine vintage year. That's where I buy all my wines. 4th grade. So if you were in 4th grade, I must have been in 6th grade. Yeah, that sounds about right. So Katara actually kicks things literally. Well, no, not literally. But Katara kicks things off by, first of all, calling Sokka sexist, because he is. And then she insists that he needs to go left. So, look, I'm not saying that this is a leftist show, but the world was saved by feminism and leftism. However, Sokka chose to go right, and then their boat had its little accident, and Katara gets very upset, does her big waterbending move, and cracks open the enormous iceberg behind them. Which, by the way, I'm just now thinking about this. Can you imagine going fishing just in an area where it's just like littered with these enormous fucking icebergs?
Yeah.
It sounds terrifying.
I mean,
I guess, yeah, if you're on a pole, that's just kind of like everyday life.
It's just like trees or whatever.
That sounds very stressful, though. Maybe I've watched the Titanic too many times, but...
Sokka is a feminist icon.
Sokka?
Yeah, because he got her angry.
He got her angry?
If he didn't get her angry, she would have never opened up the iceberg.
All right, you can shut the fuck right up. She opens up the iceberg, out pops a little boy. Just like birth.
Reach into your local iceberg and you will find a boy and a friend. So
there's this enormous beam of light, and finally we meet the real feminist icon, Zuko.
Wait, Zuko's in the iceberg? I don't remember this part.
No. Hang on, I need a drink. Zuko is watching from afar because he's a little peeping Tom.
Okay.
He sees the beam of light because just by a wild coincidence, he was searching for the Avatar at the southern pole. I guess that's fair. We were talking about this earlier because we were saying, like, at this point, the Avatar is either a 112-year-old airbender or a waterbender in hiding. So if Zuko was looking for one of those people, one of the waterbending tribes would have been a good place to start.
Or the waterbender person in the cycle could have died, and then it could have been an earthbender in hiding.
Well, that's why Zuko's doing his little world tour.
Yeah.
So Zuko sees the light and embarks on his very first of many honor monologues. I have to find the Avatar to restore my honor. I got it.
But Zuko, I'm trying to finish my card game.
Oh, yeah.
I also have some tea.
So Iroh is just like immediately established as this chill motherfucker out there playing his Pai Sho solitaire.
He's established as a gamer.
That's true. Is Iroh the only gamer of the Avatar universe?
I mean, there is later he has like a whole gamer club, but his first line is like, I won't get to finish my game.
That's a good point. Yeah. Never let your nephew interrupt your gaming. Mm-hmm. That's the number one rule of being an uncle.
Yeah, so Iroh would probably be into like Hearthstone and like Minecraft, Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, Terraria, any sandbox game.
You just came up with all these like the easiest games that you could, just the hot topic games. Are you trying to get new? Are you trying to get new listeners? Okay, I just want to, like, very quickly, when I was researching some Iroh stuff on the sidebar of whatever I was looking at, it just casually mentioned, like, it was like, updated today, Iroh Omnibender.
Oh, I
have no idea.
Omnibender?
Omnibender.
He just bends things?
I don't know. I don't know. Omni means every, right? Like, every. That's what Omni means. So,
but...
That's not true. It's just not true. So somebody's fucking up the Avatar wiki, and we need to stop them.
Okay.
Somebody please call 911 immediately.
Okay.
Please.
Everyone listening to this.
I'm dead serious.
Everyone listening to this, please edit the Avatar wiki.
No, call 911.
Please edit as much as possible to the Avatar wiki, please.
Please don't call 911. Okay.
Hey, Alexa. Call...
Oh, yeah. So I just wanted to point out that Aang's very first words on the show are just the cutest, purest thing he could ever say. He brings Katara close to him like it's his dying breath. And he's like, can we go penguin sledding?
It's an homage to that one scene from the Rip Pants episode from SpongeBob when he gets like washed up on the shore and he's like in the arms of the lifeguard.
You're right.
He's like, I need a tailor because I ripped my pants.
Oh, yeah, got him. I don't think maybe I look.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was an homage to that classic scene.
Possibly, but also like I feel like that's a little bit of a trope. Like I'm sure that's not the only place it was. Either way, it's a very good first note to bring Aang on because Aang is a cute little dough-faced boy at the beginning of the show, and that's one of the main things about Avatar is the amazing character development. And we start with little doughboy Aang, and I love to see it. Then we get really good. We rewatched this a few times and could not laugh at this moment where they're riding back to the village on Appa.
Oh yeah. And he like tries to like Appa's there too.
Yeah.
He's got a big bison.
Important character.
It's got 6 arms and it's got a big arrow on it too.
Detailed.
And he's like, "Oh, this is Appa, and he could fly." And there's like, "Let's go!" And then they try to fly, and they just go on the water.
Yeah. Okay. So Aang does say, "This is my flying bison," and then the bison does not fly. But then when they are riding back to the village on Appa through the water, Aang is sort of lying out comfortably on the little furry head of his bison, and Katara like looks over to like ask him something. I don't know, but she looks down at him, and he's got just the best fucking look on his face.
Yeah, he's got like the cat face on.
That's true, except
but like it's like happier.
Yeah, it's happier, but it's also like a little, just a little more serene. Yeah. Just like I don't even know how to describe it.
Like if the Jim face from The Office was like a serene and non-sarcastic face.
And here's the thing, like Avatar, as we already established, it's like a pretty old show kind of at this point. The humor in this show is very, very, very ahead of its time. It's really, really good. And they have this moment where Aang is just, he's just staring up at Katara for just like the amount of time that the scene sticks on his face in this moment. Yeah. It's like almost too much to be comfortable.
And it has like this rinky-dink music in the background. It's like ding, 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 ding.
That's adorable. Love that. Love that. Yeah. So then we cut to a scene where I am trying to get Noah to come to sleep, and he's in the kitchen doing the dishes. And I'm like, come on, man. It's fine. It's time to go to sleep. And Noah's standing there, like, ashen face, arms covered in rubber glove, his eyes burning with the fire of 1,000 deaths. And I just want to go to sleep. And I start telling Noah, you're a failure. Iroh is doing this to Zuko, but that's how it felt. That's how it felt to me. I feel like any good old married couple could relate. Am I right?
Yeah. Iroh was being a real downer in this scene.
Oh, what? Yeah, but he just wants to go to sleep.
Yeah, he wants to... He would tell his own nephew, who he loves very much,
Look, I
you are a
extremely relate to
failure and
this.
you will fail.
They should rewrite that one Go the Fuck to Sleep book, where it's just like, look, why are you wasting your time trying to accomplish anything? It's time to go to bed. That's like the whole scene. Nothing else happens in that scene. There's a little moment where Katara is asking Aang about the Avatar? The Avatar? Because he's an airbender, and the last Avatar was supposed to be an airbender. And he does a little denial kind of face. And then we get a little bit of a dream sequence where we see Aang. Ooh, sorry. I just realized I was getting into my really nerdy voice because I was relaxing too much. My apologies.
Oh, what's poppin'?
What's poppin'? Then we have a little dream sequence where Aang is on Appa flying through a storm over what we can only assume is the South Pole. He gets thrown into the water by the storm.
It's really clever how they shot this too, because you notice you never actually see Appa flying through the air, because it's like, oh, we don't want to reveal that Appa's actually flying.
I didn't even notice that. That's
so you don't actually see him flying through the air, but it's like kind of implied that he's flying. So it's like a weird, it's just like you just see the top of Appa and then you just see him like crashing into the water.
Then we get back to where he's at the village. He finds out about the big 100-year gap. They mention that they've never seen an airbender in 100 years. And then he does his little glider trick. And for the second or third time in the episode, someone is like, oh, it's like magic. And they pointedly say, oh, no, it's not magic. It's bending. Well, what's the difference?
It's kind of like magic.
I mean, but like in real life, magnets are magic. So
Magnets are magic.
like as far as I can remember, they never really talk about just like the concept of magic ever again in the show.
Yeah.
So then we get a scene. Our first sort of fighting scene back on the ship. Zuko is trying to learn some new firebending. One of the best things, like famously about the show, is the fighting animation with the bending, because it is so good. We don't really get too much of it in this scene. We get a little snack, a
little taste.
Yeah, a little taste. And that's how Zuko feels about it too. He's like, I need more than a taste.
And then Iroh's all like, oh, you're trying to be a muscle man, but you got to be a breath man.
You got to be a brain man.
You got to be a brain breath
Ladies
man.
love the brain.
Ladies love the brain.
Ladies.
And even more than the brain, ladies love the lungs. And you got to use your breath.
Wait, wait, back up. What the fuck are you talking about?
Iroh was talking about the firebending comes from the breath.
Okay, but he was saying, like,
not the
Iroh's
muscles.
main point was that Zuko needed to learn patience, though.
Okay.
Anyway.
And he needed to learn how to breathe. Zuko is very bad at breathing.
We all need to learn how to breathe, okay?
Everyone, you have to breathe from your diaphragm.
If you're listening to this right now, breathe. So then we get a little bit of exposition on Sokka as his sort of warrior leader role. He's trying to teach a bunch of little kids about fighting and discipline and whatever. He gets really frustrated with Aang, who's trying to be all silly. And I think that's a nice little sort of juxtaposition because a lot of the show is about a balance between the two, like discipline and freedom and peace and happiness. And then we have a very important cat at a party moment.
Cat at a party?
Yeah.
Oh, he sees a cat.
When you're at the party, and it doesn't matter if you know everyone there or if you're just a complete stranger. If you're at a party and you see a cat, you are beelining to that cat. You're screaming at the top of your lungs, "Penguin!" And then you're running to the cat. Aang does just this. He goes running for the penguin. The cat. The penguin. Like, look, I'm dropping this metaphor.
As soon as they start talking about like a war, he's just like, oh, war?
Penguin.
Oh, a penguin.
Would you like a sip? Thanks. Later on, we see Katara and Aang down with all the penguins, and Aang asks Katara if she'll help him catch one of the penguins, and she says that she'll do it if he helps her learn to waterbend.
And he's like, oh, you're a guitarist? Can you teach me how to play piano?
Yeah. It was a really stupid question. Katara is an idiot. So Aang's like, yeah, I would do that, but I can't. And then Katara pulls a fish out of her ass. Just, where the fuck did she have it? Like,
you just gotta keep a snack on you at all times.
You can't eat a fish.
Has like just a small floppy fish.
So she pulls a fish out. They go sledding. We get some. Oh God.
That's it.
Sorry, what?
She pulls a fish out. Therefore, they go sledding.
Yeah, I do. But they do though. The animation of the show is like so good and so unique, and it was very important to me as a budding. How old was I? Like 10?
12,
no,
11?
I was.
You're 11 in 6th
God,
grade.
I was Aang's age. So see,
you're Aang's age.
I was Aang's age when this show came out, and I have always been very passionate about art and animation, and the really talented artists that work on this show did a really good job with it. This penguin sledding scene, there's a lot of really good sort of animation going on.
About the penguins, they don't seem to be a hybrid.
The penguins specifically, they do have just the name penguin, which is very unusual actually for the show going forward. But they're obviously not normal penguins unless you live in like a nuclear zone.
Yeah. I mean, they look like normal penguins, but they have they have 4 little flappy wing things.
Yeah, they got four arms.
They got 4 arms.
I've never met a penguin with 4 arms.
And I think that's pretty much it.
So they get on these penguins. They go down. They go down through the tunnels and arrive at a Fire Navy ship. And they arrive at a Fire Navy ship. Bom bom bom.
Bom bom bom.
And Katara's like, we need to go back. This is not a safe place for babies.
Yeah, the Fire Navy ship, by the way, is like frozen in ice.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah,
it's.
Why did you bring that up?
You're
right.
It's like it's not just gonna attack them.
It's not just sitting there waiting to cannonball
it's
them.
Like
sorry,
in the snow.
I've seen this episode so many times that it's like, well, of course it's frozen in ice, you idiot. They walk up to it because Aang has a curious little brain.
Katara's like, I don't know. And then Aang's like, if you want to be a bender, you got to let go of fear.
Yeah, and Katara says that the ship could be booby-trapped, which I don't know if this was a thing back in 2000. Well, this show was it was like created in 2003, so this is a little bit older than 2005. But in 2018, if you tried to say something was booby-trapped, you would get laughed down the street. We don't use the word boobies anymore. Dan, Nikki, you're bobby trap. Katara, you can just say it's trapped. Yeah, it's trapped.
It could have traps in it.
It
could be rigged.
It's not safe. God, you don't need to say. I don't know why they felt like the word booby was necessary to implement in this.
Hey, don't go in an abandoned warship.
But the booby trap. I guess they were just on penguins, so like boobies not far from the brain. It's a type of bird.
You're really saying a lot of words at me.
There's a big difference between being brave or being strong and letting go of fear. What Aang should have said was, to be a bender, you should make good decisions and don't do drugs and stay in school.
Yeah.
Because that's how you become a bender. So they go in. Anyway, they do a little tour of the ship. They find a bunch of little fire weapon paraphernalia. We get a little exposition on the Fire Nation situation, the whole war going on. Aang is like so deep in denial. Like it doesn't even like bother him or register with him at all. He's just like, oh, this is weird, huh? Oh, this is silly, huh? And then Katara's like, dude, how long were you out? And Aang's like, it was a couple days. I think it was more like 100 years. And
Aang has like the mildest reaction. He just kind of sits down and then he's just like, oh, geez.
Oh, gosh. Oh, man, you're right, huh?
Darn it.
Oh, whiz.
Wow.
Wowee. Oh, boy. What about all of the friends you've ever made in your whole life? They're all fucking dead. You're not even worried about that? Okay, whatever.
He's got Appa.
Look, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, he does have Appa. Oh, side note.
Okay.
Again, when I was doing a little research, I don't remember what Wikipedia page I was on, but I think it was just Aang's Wikipedia page. There was like a section on Aang's page that said soulmates. There were, as far as I remember, there were 2. I could be wrong.
2 soulmates.
There may have been 3, but Appa was one of them.
I really like that.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Appa is canonically Aang's soulmate.
That's really good. Was the other one Momo?
No, Momo was not on there. So then we get to a point where it's like, maybe Aang was right about this. He gets a lot of important exposition from this. It's like time for him to leave for sure. And then Katara even says, like, we should get out of here. And then Aang's like, I just want to walk into this. I just want to walk into this one room. And just immediately trips a flare that goes up over the world.
Yeah, and then like the flare pops, and then Aang's like, what's popping?
Flare's popping.
Flare's popping.
And Zuko's like, ah. Yeah, and then we cut to Zuko, who sees it. He gets his binoculars out and sees Aang, and he's like, damn, Grandpa, okay. Sees this little dude jumping off the ship, and he's still like under the impression that there's like 112 airbender out here doing kick flips.
Makes the immediate conclusion that is the Avatar.
Even though he has like no references, no
citations.
Yeah, absolutely nothing to back
sources.
that up. Yeah, that's the pilot episode. We get like the whole sort of setup for the whole show.
And he sees that he's going towards the little water tribe
town.
Oh,
yeah. So he's like,
ooh,
there's where the Avatar is hiding. I will say, like, as far as pilot episodes go, this one's pretty good. Like, I've seen a lot of really shitty pilot episodes. Really bad, especially for cartoons. They're not usually that good.
But this is not the true pilot episode.
Wait, what?
There was a pilot episode before this.
Excuse me?
We watched it. Remember? It was like they all had weird voices. They all had different voices. Katara had a completely different name, I think.
Shit.
The other one is cited as...
Are you sure we didn't just have like a mutual dream about that episode?
I'm pretty sure it exists. It's cited as unaired pilot.
Huh.
It was never aired.
I completely forgot about that. Why didn't we start with... Well, that's going to have to be like a special...
We can have that as a bonus episode, maybe.
What we're going to go ahead and do now is we're going to go into a little bit of deeper analysis and... deep is not the right word. We're getting into like a little bit more specific territory. We're going to go... first of all, what were the main characters in this episode? So I think it's important to kind of highlight all of the fun little intricacies of what's going on with these people, these fun people who I consider my friends. I'll say it. They're my friends. Obviously, first of all, we have Aang. How'd you feel about Aang in this episode? Overall feeling?
Love him.
Whoop. Yeah, love him. Well, Do we love him?
Yeah, we do love Aang.
We do love Aang. However, there is a side of Aang in this episode that we don't see very often. It's the bad side, where he's avoiding responsibility.
That's true.
Yeah. We did also forget to mention, he offers to bring Katara to the Northern Water Tribe to learn waterbending. Very important, actually, because that sets up a lot of the plot for the the next for the rest of the season, really. Which is, again, it's he immediately offers this because he knows it's a really excellent way to avoid what he's supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm. The audience doesn't know that Aang is the Avatar, right?
Oh my god! Aang is the Avatar, master of all four elements.
I'm to the people first watching this episode, they're not supposed to know that Aang is...
But our audience doesn't know he's the Avatar either. We've never talked about what an Avatar is.
I thought you said that in the very beginning.
You're right.
You said
I did set it up.
4 elements. Yeah, you
actually,
did set
that was Katara.
Katara was in our show.
Katara was here.
Oh yeah,
in person, live.
She came and
smoked
went really
a joint
quickly
with us.
Yeah, she's still out there.
Katara, come back! Noah, when I first met you,
okay,
you probably already know where I'm going with this.
I don't.
You were obsessed with MBTI. Obsessed.
Yeah.
Obsessed.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to drag you so much. Why don't you, the MBTI expert, explain to us what that exactly is?
Here's what Mr. MBTI says. Mr. Psychologist says, everyone's 4 letters. You're 4 letters in the row. For each letter is either this one or this one.
Sorry, I just zoned out so much for a minute just thinking about how our neighbors just heard me screaming Katara. Sorry, go ahead. You continue. I'm just going to stuff dirt in my ears for a minute and just think about something else because I've heard you talk about this so much.
If you're listening to this, please stuff dirt in your ears. The first letter is introvert or extrovert. Do I like people or do I hate people? Second one is sensing or intuitive. Am I good at technical things or do I just intuitively just know the wide shape of things? Third one is thinking or feeling, which is am I left brain or am I right brain? Do I like to draw things or do I like to build a computer? Last one is judging or perceiving.
You could draw, I'm sorry, you could draw a computer.
Well, some people are in the middle.
Okay.
And the last one is judging or perceiving. The meanings of those words don't actually apply, really. It's either do I like to plan things or do I just like to do them as they happen? That's it. And they each have their own letter.
Let's give Aang an MBTI for this episode. Because it's, they change. MBTI is fake. Sorry, Noah. But it's fun to think about.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here.
It's fun.
This episode, just this one episode is about fun. The rest, very serious. Give me the Aang MBTI for this episode.
Aang is definitely extroverted. Would he be more of a technical person or would he be more of a kind of a intuitive kind of person? He seems like a more intuitive.
He seems intuitive, but he's forcing himself to be S right now.
Yeah, he would be an N.
He's N by heart, pretending to be an S. In this episode, he's S.
I guess so.
People are like, hey, there's a war going on. He's like, I want to go penguin sledding, though.
I don't think that's the right way. I feel like I'm stretching something over something that doesn't fit right now.
Okay. Look, you're the expert. Go ahead. Ahead. I'll stop interrupting you.
I'm not the expert. Aang's an ENFP.
Katara in this episode, she immediately, like I said, establishes herself as a feminist, as a very strong-willed, just a good character for 2005. Are you kidding me? We did not have a lot of strong female characters in 2005 in anything. We still don't really have a lot of really good ones. If you tried to make a Marvel version of Katara, her outfit would have 80% less clothing. She would be immediately good at waterbending.
She would just be just good at it all the time.
And she would be very elusive and God,
she'd be a lot more serious.
I fucking hate Marvel and I'm not going to get into it.
She would hit a guy and then she would say something really witty and it's what about that boy?
So she is a very genuinely good female character. I feel like she helped me as an 11-year-old. You can assert yourself, you can use your strengths and not have to pretend that you're not good at what you do. Aang at one point Katara is like, I used to do this a lot when I was a kid, and Aang's like, you're still a kid. And I was like,
14.
oh, that's so true. She is a kid. Girls feel like they have to grow up. It's like either you're a stupid little girl or you're an elusive, mature, older woman. And I feel like Katara she's trying really hard to be a really strong woman mom figure, especially since their mom is dead at this point, and Katara is taking the mom role. And Katara is really kind of frustrated having to be this role that she was forced to take, and she obviously hates it so much. And Aang comes in and is like, no, you're a kid. You can be a kid. And it's really good. I like it.
Yeah.
What MBTI would you give Katara for this episode?
ISFJ.
So Sokka is very true to his character, but a little bit farcical, I guess.
Yeah.
A little bit exaggerated in his selfish. How would you describe his personality here?
He's just trying to be. He's trying to be the serious one.
Well, he's trying to be, but he's obviously not.
He's trying to be like just imagine like a 15-year-old boy trying to be serious and cool, and that's it. What Sokka is.
I've never been a 15-year-old boy. What is it like?
You try to be serious and cool.
Like, what is your main motivation as like a social pawn?
You want to look cool.
So what is like being the head of a family? Or I'm asking the wrong person. You know what? What's his MBTI?
ESTP.
Okay, we have 3 more important characters. The next one is Zuko. Zuko in this episode has a very good paper figure kind of character, and maintains this personality for a pretty long time. So like the first time you start watching Avatar, you're like, oh, who is this ridiculous straw boy? Like, why is he here?
He's got incredible style.
Does he?
Isn't
he wearing like a military uniform?
He's got military uniform. He's bald, but he's got a ponytail. He's got a big scar. He only has one eyebrow, so he technically has a unibrow.
Yeah, so he... start to finish, I have watched Avatar, the whole series 3 times through. And never once have I ever realized that Zuko has one eyebrow. Zuko, 1. Everyone else, 2 for now. So in this episode, Zuko is angry and reactionary. He's very bullheaded, straightforward. He has one thing that he wants. He wants to get that. He wants to get the Avatar. He wants to restore his honor.
Yeah, he's just an angry boy.
Angry. What's his MBTI in this episode? This is gonna be Zuko. You don't need to.
ISDJ. Could be F. He seems to have very emotional motivations.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like his emotions and his logic are kind of equally fueling him, because he is very, very angry and embarrassed and upset, and that's what's making him do things. But he has a very logical way of trying to achieve those things.
So he's probably a T, because he might not be that in tune with his own emotions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's not really thinking about how he really feels. He just has like a very kind of like literal, straightforward way to do what he thinks will solve his problems. You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
I have to find the Avatar and bring him back, and then everything will be okay. Our next character, Iroh. Such a good character.
He is such a good character.
He might be the one character who is maybe the most constant character in the show.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he is old enough to have like established himself. In this episode, Iroh is very calm. Most episodes, Iroh is very calm. I'm trying to think about how he is right now compared to how he is in the rest of the show, and there's not a huge change.
Yeah, he's pretty much just like that.
He is a very constant character. As far as we can tell, he's definitely on the Fire Nation kind of side. He still seems to be very like logical and rational about everything. He's a bit of comic relief, as well as just kind of an anchor, I feel like, for the show. Like, here's the reality of what's happening. How would you consider Iroh MBTI wise? in this episode?
Either INFP or INFJ. Probably INFP in this episode.
In this episode, very INFP, I would say. Appa.
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 Mm-hmm.
Appa in this episode is a bison.
ISFP.
Aww. Aang, his name, based on the Chinese characters that are used to spell his name, Aang's name means peace. This is, I'm warning you, you're not going to be very surprised by these.
Okay.
Katara's name
means water.
Close. It means pole.
Pole.
Pull. Pull.
Pull. Okay.
Like to push and pull the water.
Like the moon does with the waves.
Yeah. Sokka's name
means boomerang.
Close. It means stubborn. Zuko, can you venture a guess?
Honor?
That would have been really funny, but no.
Means fire.
It means angry.
Angry.
Angry. Iroh. Oh, this is the best one.
Gamer. Weed.
Close. It's a type of flower that they use in making like a healing, like an herbal tea.
Wow.
I searched everywhere up and down for Appa, and it's just a phonetic name.
Okay.
It's a fun little sound. So now I would like to introduce the next section of the show. I have an extremely unsustainable idea of just going back through this old Avatar forum and finding questions from various users. There's only 80 pages on this website. I don't know how I'm going to swing this, but for now, Noah, I'm going to hit you with some questions from some Avatar fans.
Okay.
From starting from 2006.
Okay.
Avatar_mom asks, Zuko and Iroh, how should the fandom refer to the duo?
The Zyro.
Wow, what a boring answer.
You got Fire Family. You got the Bernie brothers, but one's an uncle. Bernie.
The Bernie brothers, except no relation to Sanders.
No relation to the Bernie bros.
Shit.
Two angry men because they want to get
okay. The next question comes from Nabu-san. Nabu-san asks, as for Aang being the last airbender, what about Malu, the ghost witch?
Who?
Oh my god, I am so excited to tell you about Malu. There is an airbender called Malu, the ghost witch. Malu is only present in the card game, and Malu, commonly referred to as the Ghost Witch of the Mountain, was an airbender from the Eastern Air Temple. She was a mysterious figure with supposed mystical powers. She fled to the Earth Kingdom following the Fire Nation's first attacks that started the 100-Year War. So she was alive, canonically, after all the airbenders were murdered. She was born to two airbending monks and was raised in the Eastern Air Temple. When the Fire Nation attacked the air nomads during the passing of Sozin's comet, her mother hid her away in a cave in order to keep her safe. As such, Malu survived the raid, though her parents were among the first casualties in the war. For years, Malu lived in a solitary existence, teaching herself airbending.
Okay.
Despite lacking a teacher, she quickly mastered the art, which helped her to survive. At 10 AG, she came out of hiding and began attacking Fire Nation soldiers and became a legend in the Earth Kingdom.
Straight up hitting them. Just attacking them.
She was just doing that shit. She became a legend as an enigmatic beauty who supposedly controlled the spirits and would appear and vanish at will. Malu, why isn't she in the show?
I mean, it would ruin the title a little bit.
From my research, I couldn't figure out how or when she died. So, like, there is, like, the supposed possibility that she survived as long as Aang did. But that is a lot to ask.
I mean, like, if she died when she was, like, 80, then...
But boy, was I excited to uncover this information. Our next question comes from Sarcastic Master. Sarcastic Master asks, Perhaps Sokka is a hairbender. Maybe that's how he got his ponytail.
It's true. I mean, his hair is very ahead of its time. I think he started that whole trend with that started in like 2011 or 12, 13 maybe.
The top knot
Where,
kind of
yeah,
look?
like it was like at the same time the top knot, little some call it the man bun, and he does the thing where like you like shave the sides of your head and a little bit of the back, and like you keep the top. He's a trendsetter.
Noah, I have to ask you.
Okay.
What are your cabbages?
What are my cabbages?
What are your cabbages?
What does that mean?
I don't fucking know.
What are my cabbages?
I didn't think about it. It's blank.
It's blank. It just says your cabbages on this.
Go. What are your cabbages?
My cabbages.
What are your cabbages, Noah?
I haven't had cabbage in a long time. Half a year ago, I had some cabbage slices. I put them in a little steamer. A whole head of cabbage. It only costs like 40 cents or something in some places. So you can steam them. What are your cabbages, Summer?
The lost souls of those whose businesses were demolished by avatars. Fuck, I'm sorry, I'm just stalling. Okay, now hang on. The cabbage guy.
A cabbage guy.
What's his deal?
He's a cabbage merchant.
He sells cabbages.
He sells cabbages.
To make money?
He's just a greedy capitalist.
Oh. So that's what Katara meant when she said go left.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Later in the show, Katara's like, go left so we can smash into that greedy capitalist's cabbage cart.
My cabbages are acrylic nails, utilities like water and electricity.
My cabbages are video games these microphones.
This week, my cabbages amiibos, because I need more of them, and I don't know why.
My cabbages this week is a protein shaker bottle. Protein shaker.
A baby bottle, because I'm a baby and I don't know how to say a sentence in 1 minute.
My cabbages this week
is getting a divorce from my wife. Where can people find you online?
You can find me on... Where should they find me?
Probably wherever you want to be found.
You can find me on Twitter at OwlDude.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Stellar Ghost.
STE.
Look, no. Stop.
STELLARGHOST. Should we do like an outro? And that's the cabbage.
And those are
them's the cabbages.
How about them cabbages?
How about them cabbages?
You can cut all this out.
We can cut all of this out.
Just cut it all out.
Okay.
There should be like a jump cut section at the end, like a blooper reel where it's just like, you can just cut that. Just cut. What? You should cut. Can we cut this out? Let's cut that. We got to cut all of that. We're definitely cutting that out. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Oh, Noah's taking off his pants.